Leaders from West African nations have convened an urgent summit in Nigeria to address the recent military takeover in Niger. Despite the coup leaders' failure to follow through on their threat of using force to restore democracy, they have remained in power, prompting concerns across the region. Nigerian President Bola Tinubu, also the head of the Economic Community of West African States, Ecowas, emphasized the gravity of the situation and stated that the bloc would explore solutions to the crisis. The summit began in Abuja, with Tinubu asserting that it was their responsibility to explore all possible avenues for a swift return to constitutional governance in Niger. The coup leaders in Niger, who seized control on July 26th, have disregarded an August 6th deadline set by Ecowas to reinstate the detained President Mohamed Bazoum.
Following the formation of a new interim government by the coup leaders just before the summit, uncertainty prevailed about the presence of representatives from countries such as Burkina Faso, Guinea, and Niger, who had supported Niger during the crisis. However, Mauritania's and Burundi's presidents were in attendance. There were reports that the coup leaders were requesting eased sanctions to facilitate the flow of essential supplies and electricity restoration. But it remained uncertain whether Ecowas would accede to these demands while pursuing Bazoum's reinstatement.
The Ecowas meeting was anticipated to be a pivotal moment in the standoff, as leaders aimed to reach a consensus on the next course of action, which could potentially involve military intervention as a last resort. Ecowas issued a statement condemning the situation strongly and announced the activation of standby forces to restore constitutional order in Niger. The bloc also vowed to enforce measures like border closures, travel bans, and asset freezes against individuals or groups hindering peace efforts for the restoration of constitutional order. Despite the uncertainties and risks associated with using force, the regional leaders were compelled to weigh their decisions carefully, considering both international pressure and domestic concerns within their respective countries.
The ongoing coup crisis in Niger, coupled with the history of coups in West African nations like Burkina Faso and Mali, has intensified concerns about the stability of democracy in the region. The situation underscores the need for a unified and decisive response to prevent the erosion of democratic institutions by ambitious military factions.